Well, good finally Friday morning to you here on the leader in pure classic country, 98.7 FM, AM 1580, WLIJ, May 15th, 2026. And I see the lights on here in Studio B. That must mean it's time for a Gov Talk. We got a special edition of Gov Talk this morning. We got some of our friends from the Bedford County Courthouse with a very special initiative coming here just in time for America 250. Joining us is Mr. Chase Clanton. Good morning, sir, and happy Friday.
Well, good morning, Producer Brandon. This is Chase Clanton on WLIJ, joined with a lot of folks. If you're watching on Facebook, we've got a full house, and I'm not talking about the TV show, although we do.
That was a good segue. Yeah, I like that.
Courthouse.
Yeah, the courthouse full house. I feel a good social media campaign coming out of this. But anyways, today we're joined by Sylvia Pinson. By the way, all these people are committee chairs for the Bedford County Time Capsule celebrating America's 250th anniversary. We're joined by Sylvia Pinson, Mr. Keith Davis, Carol Roberts, the county archivist, right?
Yes.
And Shanna Boyette as well. Shanna, what's your position?
I'm the HR director, Title VI coordinator, and safety coordinator, ADA coordinator for the county.
So. Can we tack on a couple other job titles? School board.
Government. Yes, we can.
It's government. Wait till you retire, then you'll have 17 more, from the way I understand.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, very good. Well, welcome everyone today, and hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is really exciting because, one, we've got you guys that are willing to take advantage of this opportunity, America's 250th anniversary. And this time capsule, we need to let everybody know what that is. Maybe we've got some young folks listening that haven't heard of a time capsule before. But this is part of a bigger celebration.
It's part of we're celebrating the 250th anniversary of our country.
Yes.
And a time capsule is, we have purchased this. It's a stainless steel box, and it's 20 by 16 and a half lengthwise, and 16 deep.
Okay.
So with this, they can submit different items. And we have in this packet that we're going to be talking about things that they can put in that, and we want everyone in our community to participate. So in 50 years,
right,
that their grandparents or grandchildren can say, what was that?
Right. While we celebrate our 250, we acknowledge that we can also be history in the making.
Right.
And so we want to invite applications and items to be placed to preserve and to be opened by our future community members in 50 years to kind of see what was going on and what was important and what identified different communities within Bedford County 50 years before. So it's an exciting opportunity.
Four of us will be history by then. So
I was going to
you may be around, Chase. I don't know, brother.
Sylvia has kind of tasked me with being the person still around.
Now, let us know how it goes when you get there.
She did mention that on the phone when we talked a few weeks ago. It's like, I need you to be around. She's
you
like,
report back when you get up.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we take this podcast and we put in the time capsule.
Great idea. That's actually not a bad idea.
That's a fantastic idea.
Right.
Wow, I think I know what our submission's going to be.
Right, there you go.
I said, hey, WLIJ, hey, they've been here. When I played basketball, they were here. They're still an
pillar of the community.
Years.
I know 1400 AM wasn't necessarily owned by the Hopkins family, but I believe its first broadcast was in 1946 or 47.
Wow, older than I thought.
I was born in 46.
Yeah, and it was in Shelbyville.
Yes.
So Shelbyville has had a radio station owned by someone or some corporation since then.
Quick story. When I returned home after being out of town for 42 years, Mr. Davison, he's the one that announced the basketball game at 64. So I was at the Shelbyville Rec Center, and they called me to the front desk, and he handed me the reel and his printed announcement of the ball game.
Oh, like the transcript from
the
it.
transcript. So I, in turn, brought it here and gave it to Rusty Rick and said, "This is where it belongs." So I don't know where y'all.
Great idea.
I don't know where it is.
It's a good question. That's we're going to leave that to producer Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, get on that right now. We need a copy of that.
He's looking. We're on
By the
our
time
own.
we finish, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put that on his desk.
If you don't
now.
have to game, I have a copy at home.
Good. He might want to make a copy and bring it to us.
Right.
But so, folks, why the Bedford County time capsule? And I think we've talked a little bit about that already. Whose idea was it, Shanna?
Maybe
Tell the truth.
Yeah, maybe it kind of was an epiphany in a bigger conversation of, hey, why don't we preserve who we are? And I was just thinking about my children in the community and others, and I was just like, why don't we do a time capsule? And it was just like an idea, if you will, and it kind of evolved into a, well, why not opportunity? Sure. And so Sylvia has graciously and done an excellent job, mind you, because this is a huge undertaking.
At 4:30, going time capsule. Yes,
It didn't take that long.
It didn't take that long. It was just
came
like
out of the brain.
Because the mayor was like, well, what should we do? It was just kind of a brainstorming opportunity. Right. I was like, well, what about a time capsule? And then we made this committee, and Sylvia is our fearless leader, Madam Chair of this. Yes, she is the Madam Chair, and all the respect she deserves in that position, because all of the information we have funneled to her, and she has really just organized this, and so we're grateful. Absolutely grateful for everything you do.
You know that's in my expertise.
Yes,
big events.
I have seen her plan 4th of July.
Planning.
Yes, the 4th of July events that we celebrated under her direction as the former Shelbyville Parks and Recreation Director. So she's been involved in these big celebrations before.
Truth is, Chase, we needed a fall guy.
You needed a what?
We need a fall guy just in case it went south.
That's right. So
I'm the visionary.
Long hair.
Absolutely right.
That's right.
I'm the visionary, and Carol is the expertise, the historical. She knows what's going to be preserved, what can't be preserved, what should be preserved.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear about your perspective on that, Carol, especially as the county archivist.
Well, we're looking for items that reflect the anniversary from here in Bedford County and what we think about it from here in Bedford County and how we look at history. And I think that's been a really interesting thing to recommend to the schools, whether it's an art project or an essay or photographic history, all of those things. Some of the history students have been looking at Revolutionary War soldiers who were active in that era and came to Bedford County afterwards.
Really?
Yes. We have numerous list. The DAR, the Daughters of American Revolution, maintain that list of all of those soldiers who fought, whether they fought in North Carolina, whether they fought in Virginia, and then came to Bedford County to live. And so that's been a really interesting component. But more than that is knowing that the young people will remember something about the Revolutionary War and the reasons behind it and how that affects us today. I think that's a really neat piece, is how everyone, whether it's someone older like me or who loves history, or someone new and young who really thinks it's a neat idea, and it's not just about fireworks.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just about burgers and hot dogs and fireworks, although those are very fun things.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
They don't stay with us long.
I don't mind a good hot dog and hamburger, but especially with the 250th anniversary of America, it's a good time to task students in our county with submitting something like that, because honestly it makes sense, but I'd never really realized that Bedford County had its own connection to the legacy and lineage the families of those who fought in the American Revolution.
Right. That's right. We have many of them that not only were here, but and this was still a time when Lincoln County was Bedford County at the very earliest points.
Okay.
And so some of those Revolutionary War soldiers landed on the line, so to speak, our county line, and that kind of thing. But more interesting with that is that you want to be able to preserve what these folks have prepared in this time capsule.
Okay.
And in modern art, I think that's what's really neat is modern art. And as you said, we are going to have digital items, flash drive or something represented, but as Sylvia said recently, we're going to make sure they know what's on it, because more than likely you cannot read it or hear it or see it, and
that could be an issue. Yeah.
And so that's been an issue. No offense, but that reel-to-reel really should be digitized moving forward. Should be preserved. It should be preserved, because even now CDs are becoming obsolete.
Well, I have the VCR and the CD, and I've got.
Maybe you need to put that in there.
Well, yeah. Now, just realize, audience, you cannot put any dead bodies in this capsule.
Please.
Come
on now.
We do have some limitations, not only the size limitation, but
didn't say urns. She
Yeah.
didn't say urns.
Well, I guess
it is
you make a good point, Shannon.
nothing like that, particularly because you do not want things in there of an organic nature that will destroy the other items in there.
That's
we've had numerous time capsules opened in the past when they were so excited to open it, and they opened it up and there were just crumbs left because they had put flowers in there, or they had put food in there, or those kind of things that not only deteriorated quickly but caused the other items to deteriorate.
Sure.
So we're looking for things that. Another thing, through the years, when you talk about artwork, people have prepared art exhibits or artistic things that are intended to deteriorate.
I didn't realize.
And so these things will just disintegrate, and if you want it to be represented in 50 years, 100 years, you want to have something that's much more stable.
Sure.
The paper, inks, there are numerous inks that are not stable, and so artists know that, or other people are using better pens, so to speak. Those kind of things.
So as Shelbyville does this tribute to the 250th celebration of our country, it's kind of the kickstart of the 4th of July weekend and what they have going on at the parks. But this is ultimately on the square. You know, they've got lots of fun events that are going to be happening. There's going to be music and food trucks and just lots of opportunity to celebrate. And so recognizing the historic courthouse, we thought, and Sylvia sits on the committee with the city, to incorporate this time capsule opportunity to be a part of that event. So usually we just celebrate Independence Day for what it is for that 4th of July, but this is kind of a kickoff to a bigger recognizing the 250th. That's not something we get but one time, and we want to make sure that we do that right. Sure. And so for this project, we're kind of asking everybody to think inside the box. You know, there's different...
No pun intended.
Right, no pun intended.
I think pun intended.
Think inside the box, people. We have to be respectful of how much space we have and how many entries. And we have really started this community engagement plan to incorporate all of our smaller communities in the county and our schools and our archivist, because she is the go-to historian, knows what can and can't be preserved and what's going to last and what's not.
Very important.
So with the application process, we want those items turned in and approved with the application with Carol, and her office is on the first floor of the county square.
Right.
Correct.
The courthouse.
Okay.
So going back to the flash drive, if you're going to bring it with something on it. Make sure you describe what a flash drive is.
On the application, there's a spot
and
for
you've got
description.
to print what's inside there and put it in an envelope from that service organization. I have reached out to service organization. I've been in HR meetings yesterday. I've been visual, and I have printed 100 applications, and they're beginning to get out in the community.
Oh, very good.
Even if they're a new business.
Right. And it's free, Chase.
It's free.
It's free. There's
free
no
to participate.
Free participation. We want a good representation to show who we are in this day and age and who we've been. Kind of like the past and the present to be opened by the future, if you will.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Keith, where will this time capsule be buried? I think we've mentioned the square, but where at?
It's going to be on the south side, facing Coffee Beans, all that side, Coffee Break,
Coffee Break, that's right.
That side, right underneath the window of the mayor's office right there.
Okay.
There's a little area right behind the Veterans Memorial.
Right.
So to be up against the building right there, for those that ask, yes, we did call 811. We're clear. So
we have a certificate.
If there's Fluffy that was buried there 60 years ago, we may dig up. We don't know.
And there's no tunnel there.
There is no tunnel there. Yes, we checked that out.
I forgot about that.
I was asked recently about all the legends and myths of things, and there's always been this legend that there's a tunnel from the courthouse cellar elsewhere. And no, it's not on that side.
It's not on the south side. We're not telling you where it's at, but it's not on the south side.
Wow.
Every time there's a dig around the courthouse, since I have been able to be there, as I go and say to the construction guy, I say, do you see anything in there that looks like the earth has been moved? Have you found anything else?
Right.
And I actually had a guy bring in a really neat little bottle that he did find during the renovation 2021 and 22. And so those are the kind of things that when we were looking for the thing, I said, there's no tunnel over there, so have at it.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So who's going to be responsible for the opening and closing of the site when this time comes?
Our wonderful friends at Doak Funeral Home. Ephraim has volunteered his expertise. They're going to be digging, and they're going to be covering up once it's completed.
Okay.
So thank you guys at Doak Funeral Home, and Ephraim, my buddy. They're wonderful for the community. Thank you for volunteering the time.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing that. Now, after that fact, we have discussed, and I think we're going to wait. Sylvia twisted my arm 4 times. I want some beautification around that area where the box is going to be. Mm-hmm. And after this is finished, we're going to see if we can get some landscaping done around it. Just have it a pretty place to view where people can walk up and just kind of respect it and look at it and view it.
Right, because you don't want it to just be forgotten.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, there's going to be a stone. Talk about the stone we put on top.
Well, there is going to be a stone. I'll let Sylvia describe it more. There will be a stone. Once this is buried, there will be a stone that's going to be engraved, and I'll let Sylvia tell it. So it'll be on top, so there'll be a viewable stone. We'll know exactly where it's at.
Okay.
So that way we can do a little bit of decorating around it and some flowers and just kind of beautify it. I would love to put even a spotlight on it one day.
Oh, that'd
kind
be
of
cool.
Spotlight that area would be beautiful. So,
wow.
I mean, she can talk about the stone and how we're going to have it engraved.
Yeah.
Well, the stone is 24 inch by, it's 4 inches thick, but it will carry the 2026 Bedford County Time Capsule sealed on July 3rd of 26 and open 50 years, which is what? Help me with the math. 50 would be
2076.
76. So it will carry the date.
The 300th anniversary, hopefully. Of our
right,
300.
It will be booby-trapped.
Nice.
So don't try it, Chase. Don't come in there trying to open it up.
Well, I got an Indiana Jones hat.
I told that to Sylvia. I said, listen, at my age, I would have been one of those yahoos at midnight to come in there and try to open it up. So we got to make sure. Oh, yeah.
Actually, you better dig deep because it's going deep in the ground.
Oh, it's going really far down.
Yeah.
How far down is it going?
They'll have about 2 feet of dirt over it.
Oh, okay.
So
6 feet under, baby.
Well, that's the cast. This is
this is a little different.
But it says about 24 inches. Mm-hmm. But that dirt's got to settle a little bit, and they'll have to come back and make sure it stays level. And we designed it so that we could weed eat around it, and that's why we want to preserve it a little bit, so that it always is standing on top. If you go into funeral cemeteries, they sink and they keep sinking, and then you're trying to move the dirt to find them. So.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, we're going to take a short break here on Gov Talk. We'll be right back with more about Bedford County's very own time capsule celebrating America's 250th anniversary after this.
You know, your eyes are a precious thing. You've got to take care of them. Looking for clear vision and hometown care you can trust? See the difference at Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, 605 North Main Street in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. From comprehensive eye exams to helping you find that perfect pair of glasses, Dr. Hasty and his friendly team are focused on your family's vision and comfort every step of the way. Noticing changes in your eyesight? Time for that yearly checkup? Let's take care of it. 931-684-2020. Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, because your eyes are a precious thing.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company, 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station, 931-684-5662. And we're back here on Gov Talk on WLIJ, talking to the pretty much the board, several chair members of the board for the Bedford County Time Capsule celebrating America's 250th anniversary. Again, we're joined by Sylvia Pinson, Mr. Keith Davis, Carol Roberts, and Shanna Boyette. And I believe we do have one cast for Full House so far. if you've been listening since the top of the program. Shanna, what'd you say your role would be?
Oh, that's DJ Tanner.
Okay, there you go.
Great, because we were the same age, so she was like my icon.
Okay.
Like, I needed her room, her lip phone, and, like, she was the iconic teenager.
Yeah, it's so typecasted. Can you work on the theme song on the lead guitar? Just have a little Jimi Hendrix in it.
Keith is Dave Coulier. Am I saying that right?
Absolutely.
You're so Joey.
Yeah.
You're Joey.
Yeah. I don't take that as an insult. I'm good with it.
Yeah. We're going to start calling him Joey.
We're going to start calling him Joey.
That's right.
Not to be confused with Joey from Friends, but anyway.
Hey, that's another one. How you doing?
How you doing?
Come on.
Come on. Doing.
So back to the capsule.
Back to the capsule.
Settle down.
I want to ask our archivist here a question. Have you ever had anybody bring a time capsule in to Bedford County, or is this going to be the first of its kind?
I don't think it's the first. I believe a couple of the churches have time capsules.
Yeah. Okay.
So. I have not seen any evidence of one on the square to this point.
But there is one on the square.
There is one on the square.
Didn't they do it in homecoming?
Well, when do we get to open it?
I can't find any evidence.
Maybe we need to Clanton
said that,
and Don Hobbs.
Okay.
They buried it. So I was looking at it. I hadn't found it either.
Yeah.
So
and that's the significance of what you're talking about placement and aesthetic around it, and appreciate everything you're doing to make sure that looks the part.
I want it to be like the Veterans Memorial. I want it to be seen. I want it to be, people over the years
of it if people
come and look at it. Right.
If you can't find it.
That's right.
So we almost maybe need to do a map of all the
Wait, that's not a bad idea, Shanna.
Yeah. I mean,
we do have more and more evidence of all of the memorials on the square. There have been many times when people have forgotten what each memorial is for. And so I don't know if you ever know about geocachers.
Yes.
They love all of those little details about each one so they can find each one and tick it off. And so there are a lot of really neat characteristics of each one and each memorial, and we do need to get Rhonda to tell us where it was, or because
I've heard there was, but I never heard a site. I've had people tell me there was,
and it didn't turn up when they've been digging the entire perimeter of the courthouse.
Well, if Dawn was involved, it wouldn't have been in '76. That's what I thought. Maybe they did it in '76, but
no, she was involved because
there were recommendations during homecoming '86. If you remember, Lamar Alexander wanted to do something for the state bicentennial, but it wasn't during his tenure. So they came up with this homecoming '86 in 1986 to do all of the really neat projects all across the state. Yeah, they were a lot of fun. We had tours, we had traveling exhibits, all of those kind of things, and each area was recommended to do neat things like time capsules or museum events and things like that. I know that there's still some museum exhibits with the fly, and then there have been some other things. We have a couple of things from the bicentennial, and of course, Shelbyville had their sesquicentennial in 1969. Now that was an interesting and fun day. They had men grow beards in the 60s.
Really?
Nobody really was.
Well, they did that in '76 too, if you remember that.
Exactly. There was not a trend of beards and mustaches, and so they had men in 1969 growing beards and mustaches and having contests and things. And really one of the biggest, earliest parades I remember was for the sesquicentennial, and of course out of that came our favorite sesquicentennial history of Bedford County, which was extremely thorough. And at that time, it's big and it's awkward, and we're so grateful to have one user copy for researchers, but also several backups, because it's very fragile. It was printed like a newspaper by the Times Gazette Publishing at that time. Monty Arnold was the editor of the sesquicentennial book and others. And you talked to your mother, participated in it?
My mother was the county trustee.
Well, they all did.
Yes.
Give information. Anyways, it's kind of that honor that we're doing now in a time capsule.
It's going to be fun to see everybody's entries, their interpretation of what they want to be preserved.
Exactly.
I mean, you think about some of these small communities and all of the things that they're known for. Strawberry festivals and RC Cola and Moon Pie and Daffodil Day, and just all of the fun things that make Bedford County. And Ross. That's right. Ice cream.
So I'm like an astronaut ice cream.
Yes, but an ice cream ornament with Ross on it. Just things that, and I hope in 50 years that's still their thing.
Sure.
We do too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's neat, and Carol's office is going to be really easy for folks to find to pick up these applications and ask questions, because Sylvia and Carol they have created this really nice presentation table right outside of the archives office.
Okay.
And I believe it's even got the time capsule there, so you can go by, Chase, and see what it looks like.
Time capsules.
Because even though the dimensions are on the paper, it's abstract, and so if you're a visual person, you're going to want to see what it looks like.
Sure.
So stop by the courthouse between our office hours of 8 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Well, that's kind of my next question is, we're inviting people to participate, and we've talked a little bit about what you can put in there and what you may not want to put in there. Like you might want to leave the flowers above ground to decorate. But seriously though, it could destroy other things. Where can they go to pick up the application? It sounds like they can go to the Bedford County Courthouse for one.
And then in the packet, and I can give you, they can email me. I will mail them a packet. And let me just stop and tell you what I've done thus far. All of the 5 mayors We've asked them to do a proclamation from their city, and then our county will do a proclamation. But with that, have all the aldermen or councilmen sign the back of it to place into the time capsule. That identifies. I do know Normandy is bearing a time capsule in October on their celebration, and I've asked them to identify where they're going to put that to put with their document.
Right. Because I think it would be in 50 years, it would be neat to kind of marry up those two and let it be a bigger celebration where you kind of create a scavenger hunt, if you will, of future community engagement to be able to go and open them together as communities. I think that would be neat.
So, and to follow through that, I think it's important the history of all our service organizations like Rotary and Lions. You know, Rotary and Lions started the celebration, and it's in its 88th year this year. Think about in 50 years.
What could be.
What could be.
So we know the drop-off is with Carol. Yes. Where is the application pickup with
it's
you?
At the table. It's at the table.
At the table at the courthouse, Chase.
It's also on the website.
It's on the county
website.
Okay.
Even if you just open up the county website, John Carney, our media, has put a block on the
QR code
pop-up. No, it's a pop-up for a link. I don't think we could do a QR
pop-up link.
And
but you can go straight to that and print off the whole application.
Okay.
Or just review it.
And what is that website for our listeners?
Is it on the Bedford County?
It's on the Bedford County.
It's the BedfordCountyTN.org.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it .org or .gov?
Gov. It used to be org.
Okay.
I was just making sure you're paying attention.
Sorry. Well, I saw an email address that was .gov, so I didn't mean to
Then
call
why
you.
did you ask? You already knew what it was, Chase.
And of course, my phone number, they can either text me or call. I can release it straight from my computer. But my intent not only is to just be the email person, but meet these people personally and say, look, we need you to consider this is your time to put some history.
And we'd rather have more that we had to turn down than not enough.
Sure. Or be picking the best of.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
And we don't mean it by the best of. We mean that it represents well and also size capacity. Again, much more worried about. We want everybody to encourage them to do it and have it available, but there may be space limitations. So that's something to consider.
Yeah, and if it's something that's not going to be utilized because of a space limitation or duplicate entries or whatnot, those things will be given back in the condition in which they were submitted.
We're monitoring that with the application.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
A recommendation page of how they prepare it.
Prepare it for submission.
Correct.
And what's the deadline for submissions?
June 22nd.
Okay, June 22nd. So if you've got something that you'd like to submit for the time capsule, or you'd like to get more information, you can go, and I think you said you can find the application on the Bedford County website.
Correct.
Or visit you, Carol, at your office.
Or my coworker, Catherine Hopkins. We're there. We're open 8 to 4 Monday through Friday.
Okay. Well, very good. So that's how people, those are the types of things that you can submit for the time capsule. That's where you can pick up your application. That's how they're going to decide what goes in, size limitations and stuff like that. Deadline, June 22nd. If you want to get it in, do it by then.
We're going to get it in, and to make sure we have a record, because she's in charge of archives. We're going to have its own little area of what is in the time capsule at another location.
Okay, well that's...
In case Keith steals it, right?
Right. And we want to encourage everyone, again, you've said it, come see this thing. Just come through the courthouse.
Thanks, Keith.
Just look at history that's going to be made. It's bring your kids, your grandkids, and like some of us will be, I'm going to be on the streets of gold by then. So, I'd like to, yes, I am, Sylvia. But, come and view it and come see it. Brandon's in there laughing. Thank you, Brandon.
That's why I was laughing.
The interesting thing, this is Bedford County's government's way of incorporating everyone within our borders to help us put in the heritage of what's going on now for the American celebration.
Right.
That's the thing.
Bring together the municipalities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't forget, the time capsule will be sealed and buried on Friday, July the 3rd at 4 p.m. at a special event.
Can I talk a little bit about that?
Go for it. We got a few minutes.
We got a few minutes. It is called the Shelbyville Stars and Stripes Shelbyville Lights. It's 4 o'clock. The white horse will ride for the American flag to come in to this celebration.
Okay.
All of the veterans' flags will be honored. The speakers will be there. And then we're the main event of this kickoff is the time capsule. Once that's when they transition to the first outdoor Levitt concert on the square.
And much like other events on the square, if you're hoping, and we're hoping that you come and stay a while, bring a lawn chair.
Yes.
If you're going to be there for a while, you may not want to stand the entire time. You may want to be comfortable. So just like car shows and chili cook-offs and things that we have on the square, just be comfortable and make sure there's going to be things to hydrate, waters, and all that kind of stuff. But bring a chair and stay with us for a while.
Also, the street will close from 3 to 5 for this.
It's quite an event. Yeah, you don't want to be driving through that.
Right.
You won't be able to because it'll be closed.
With it being Americans' kickoff for the 4th of July weekend, then you're going to have a lot of veterans, and you're going to have parking at first is going to be a problem. So plan on that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And they will come out with a big flyer shortly, and we'll start promoting that.
Really?
They're working on it.
Yeah, and send that over to us. We'll announce it.
We will. I'll take care of that for you. Yeah. We're excited. Big event on the square.
Yes. Yeah. Well, folks, this has been great to let the listening public know about Bedford County's very own time capsule celebrating America's 250th anniversary. Is there anything else we want to mention before we go off the air this morning?
Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not a problem. And folks, make sure you participate. Go pick up your applications, right?
Yes, sir.
Producer Brandon wants to do it again tomorrow. So
another episode of Full Studio B, so I don't get in trouble for copyright.
I just want to thank 2 of our commissioners are here. Of course, county has 18, but it's so much. I just always appreciate what you all do at the table, but also away from the table. I think it's a testament to what you all do for your community, the community engagement. It's so much more than just sitting there and reviewing items and voting on a budget. This is the side that, I hope that the community sees the work behind the scenes that you all do for our community, and working with other leaders in our community to make sure that we have things like this to celebrate, that they're not afterthoughts. Correct. So I commend you all for that. I just want to give a shout out to all of our high school graduates. That starts today. We have Central's graduation today, class of 2026.
Okay.
And then we have Cascade and Community tomorrow. So, and then Webb will be coming up. So just excited for them. A new journey, but closing one chapter and opening another. So just want to give a shout out.
Do you have an hour opening up for Shanna?
I'm sorry.
I think she wants her own.
I don't mind. No, I just want to give them a shout out. I'm proud of them. I know we all are, but it's a big thing. So
well, thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And folks, as we send it back to our regular programming, I want to give a shout out to both Shelbyville Central High School's baseball team and to our Cascade champions for absolutely just nailing it.
Community softball.
They're doing great as well. Tell me about them.
Can't leave out community softball.
But see, that's history making right there.
That's true.
Yes, it is. It's historic. So let's hope we can get a picture of those trophies, those state wins. But you know what? No matter what, even at sub-state, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yes, it is.
And to have 3 in the district
at the same time.
Dr. Garrett, of course, is going to be retiring from schools, and she was wanting a big state win before she steps down, right. And we've got 3 still up at bat for her. So
yes, it is.
Shout out to Bedford County Schools and Dr. G for everything she does. Yeah. So wishing her the best as well.
And folks, we're literally swinging for the fences all the way to the end of her retirement. So
how many puns? I want listeners to go back and count how many puns we have.
You can take a sip of water every time you hear one. Thanks for listening this morning. We've been joined by the committee for the Bedford County Time Capsule celebrating America's 250th anniversary. This is Chase Clanton for Gov Talk. We'll see you next time.
You know, your eyes are a precious thing. You've got to take care of them. Looking for clear vision and hometown care you can trust? See the difference at Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, 605 North Main Street in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. From comprehensive eye exams to helping you find that perfect pair of glasses, Dr. Hasty and his friendly team are focused on your family's vision and comfort every step of the way. Noticing changes in your eyesight? Time for that yearly checkup? Let's take care of it. 931-684-2020. Dr. Dale Hasty Family Eye Care, because your eyes are a precious thing. Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at KincaidService.com.
This is freshman Shelbyville Central cheerleader Emily Donovan, and you're on Shelbyville's radio home for Central, 98.7 FM and AM 1580. WLIJ, go Eagles.
And don't forget...